I'm taking this game in, minding my own business. Just going about my life, watching this game. You know, kids coming in, wanting to know about their waiver wire and fantasy, me trying to explain to them it's not happening, and go have your dinner and I'll sit with you later, or, you know, just trying to mind my own business.
Yep.
My personal life is my personal life, and I like to separate it on occasion from football.
Sure.
Okay, just like many people. And then news comes out of New York, New Jersey.
Oh.
Yes. Comes out of New York, New Jersey, my hometown.
Yeah.
In case you know. Yeah, right. So out of New York and New Jersey comes the news that the Jets, rumored to be trying to trade LeVeon Bell, just tapped out entirely from the venture and relationship and sent LeVeon Bell packing, cutting him, releasing him, setting him free, however you wish to term it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Now then, you can't sit here, if you're the Jets, and say, we need to evaluate Sam Darnold and let someone of LeVeon Bell's caliber go for nothing. Can't do it. Don't want to hear it. Can't sit here and say, Sam, we believe in you and we're going to try and evaluate you, which is kind of one of the reasons why you signed LeVeon Bell in 2019, 2019, knowing that after sitting out the 2018 season, even someone of that caliber and whatever baggage is arriving with him from Pittsburgh is worth it, because you know you've got a decision on your supposed franchise face and quarterback coming up down the road a couple years from now. If you are a general manager, if you're generally managing an NFL team and you have drafted someone of this caliber and you still have a little bit of a question mark as to his abilities and is he worth the extra contract and all that money that's coming with it, how do you evaluate this guy? Well, going out and getting someone like LeVeon Bell is a way to do it. Unless the coach that you've just hired kind of not into it. And thinks that somebody of LeVeon Bell's caliber, well respected, not worth the money. Certainly not when he can spin whatever magic with his scheme and coaching ability with people who make lesser cost. So you could spend more money on other people, like, say, let me just pick somebody out who might have been worth that money. Jamal Adams. Just let me pick that one out of my
just a
head.
random
Let
name.
me just pick that one up. No. Give the money to LeVeon Bell. Have the coach figure this thing out. Only took about a month until we heard from whispers and talk. Coach, not into it. Not into it. General manager was into it. Mike
I'm the general
McCagnon
manager
thought,
of the New York Jets.
Let's go ahead and figure this thing out about Sam Darnold. That general manager, Mike McCagnon, was allowed then to draft on behalf of the New York Jets. Allowed to draft. The 2019 draft class chosen by Mike McCagnon, as Adam Gase was no doubt sitting in the room, staring a hole through somebody with some eyes darting all over the room. That guy was allowed to draft. Then, month later, summarily fired. Welcome to the Jets, LeVeon Bell. You thought the Steelers was a tough spot for you? You thought Big Ben and Antonio Brown and Mike Tomlin, not the right mix for you? You felt you needed to get paid, won't be franchise tagged for $14.5 million bucks? The reason why the Jets cut him is because next year he was guaranteed to make $8 million and teams wouldn't even pay that. What a mess. On behalf of everybody involved, what a mess. because the general manager was eventually hired to take over for Mike McCagnon, and Joe Douglas is seeing in the paper LeVeon Bell is now liking tweets that slag on the coach, who comes out after LeVeon Bell comes back, gives him about a dozen touches, doesn't even play the kid from Florida who they drafted, and LaMichael Piron. Don't even play him. Let's play Frank Gore, who I adore, who may or may not be as old as Al Gore. Let's play him with Joe Flacco while the quarterback we need to evaluate is hurt in a game the week before and is in such pain now he can't play, but was allowed to come back in and play still in a game that you lost because your defense was so undisciplined with 6 personal foul penalties that the other team ran into the locker room because you're playing like such lunatics, but you're still burning timeouts to put your injured quarterback back on the field for 2 meaningless plays to run out the clock. That's the way they have evaluated Sam Darnold. They have broken the young man, as you know, and now LeVeon is free to go after a grand total of 17 New York Jet football games, 863 yards and 3 touchdowns. But hey, at least the owner is making America great again in the UK. Honestly, man, I don't like slagging on my team. I love the Jets, and so many people who I've met in the Jets organization are great people with huge hearts, and that includes Sam Darnold. I don't like doing this. I really don't. I don't like doing it. I don't like sitting down and watching Tuesday Night Football and having this news break my bubble. But it stinks, and it's a total, complete mess. Total, complete mess. And that's why I said yesterday, clutching my hot take plank, because it is a hot take, trade Darnold now. Do it now, Joe. These conversations that you've had for Le'Veon Bell, knock on people's doors for Sam Darnold now. Do it now. Get him out now. Rip the knob off. Let Adam Gase have to finish things up. And then go hire Eric Bieniemy, draft Trevor Lawrence, or go hire somebody not, if you don't like Bieniemy, go hire somebody to match up with Trevor Lawrence and dominate the AFC East, if not the AFC, for the next 10 years, unless something happens and you break him too. But in Joe Douglas, you have to trust. That's the state of the Jets.